ratio indicator, courtesy of FXSSI.com. Quick tutorial on how to use the indicator. I would recommend looking at the order book software because the profit ratio gets its data from the order book. And this is the order book in case you haven't seen it before. This is pound USD. And the key thing to note is that the crowd are near enough always wrong. They're constantly at a loss. Now this we see on the pound USD, they're holding on to their losses. And that's actually quite painful. Look at the ratio. Only 11% are in profit, 43% are at a loss, those who sell in. And those who are buying, 18% are in profit, 22% are at a loss. So it just goes to show that there's always a large part of the market participants, the retail herd, they're being punished and they're at a loss. So if we see anything unusual and they're making profit, that would be like a warning sign, and that's where the profit ratio indicator comes in, and it gets its data from the order book. So so if anything is sort of untoward, anything, if they make too much profit too quickly, we'll know because we'll see some spikes on the profit ratio. So let's return to the profit ratio indicator. See, there's two lines at the bottom window. There's a profit ratio and then there's the signal line. The signal line is the return point where the bulls and bears are when their profits are at equilibrium. So any spike above the signal would be like a warning sign. So not sure if you can see that. Let me zoom in perhaps. So here, you're looking at these dots, and that's like the retail guys making profits, making a bit of profit. And what we'll see, as soon as they make profit, we'll see a reversal. And note your London fix times. For those London fix traders, keep an eye on that, and you'll see there's some very spooky parallels to these profit ratio spikes. Okay, so see, there's one here. They made too much profit and we came down. Here, they made too much profit, we come up. There's another one here, we came down. There's one here, it didn't really do much. There's one here and we went up. And we have one here as we sort of closed out the week. So what normally happens is whenever they're making profit, we should expect to see some kind of reversal to punish them. And it's just typically cruel of the market makers to do that. But if they can take the money, then they can take the money, and quite easily as well. So they're just being chopped up, the retail traders on the pound USD all week. And as you can see, hopefully that's clear. And how if they're making profit, it's a bit of an alarm. It's like alarm bells. So this is how it is on your screen. That's just with me with my markings and illustrations. You can see that there's a correlation there with the fall in, and there's going up, and there's one coming down. And note that these spike occurs at London fixed times, which is 4 o'clock every day, and the Monday to Friday ones are of more importance. So if you're a London fixed trader, keep an eye on your profit ratio and see if you can see any parallels. So these are the stop loss clusters. So you can see how every time they got trapped, they got stopped. And we see how, if you were to compare the two screens, these arrows, they coincide with these stops. Takes them out, takes them out, took them out, took them out. This one was horrible because it took both stop loss clusters. So that day would have been a day to completely avoid the pound USD completely. Another stop loss cluster, another stop loss cluster. We came close to this one, but we can see how they coincide. Profit, making too much profit, stopped out, reversal, too much profit, goes up, gets stopped out. There's another one here, come down, stopped out. So it's been incredibly cruel to market participants recently. Hopefully that logic is clear. I would recommend using the profit ratio with the order book. You note that I've just got current positions for this tutorial video. You can obviously have the orders and the stop losses, which would make sense. These are just current positions. So it's just for the purpose of this video. So yeah, use the profit ratio with the order book. and the stop loss clusters, and you can see how they correlate, and it's like 1 + 1 = 2. There's obviously a direct correlation to the reason for punishing them and then getting them out. So it's really horrible. And there's quite a cool thing about how to spot a trend as well. So spotting the trend is actually really simple. This is the dollar CAD. Whenever the blue line is above the orange, then we're in an uptrend. When the orange line is above the blue line, we're in a downtrend. At this point here, the dollar CAD switched the trend. So all you can do is click the buy/sell, and then you can see how the trend is clear, and that was a confirmation of the retail guys are fully trapped, and that's a tick in the box. So that's just like a proper deviation of the trend, and it's a clear downward trend. At that point it switched, and that's just a divergence, and there's no more chop. They've just thought, oh, we'll give up now, and they'll hope for the best. So they got punished, and then they got really, really punished. And it's just euphoria, despair, and it'll continue forever to the end of time, unless you're aware of how the FX market works, and not to hold on to your losses and use these indicators, because you won't be in this crowd, this dumb herd, because they're terrible traders and I'd rather hold on. They fully think, well, maybe it won't fall that much, we'll have some support, right? We can have some support here, but it doesn't, and it breaks that support, and it falls horrendously, and then there are obviously a massive drawdown. So use these indicators, especially this one. It's really great. If you understand the concept of the trend and the crossover, it's going to be quite useful for you. And that's just one option. So by default, I would just have signal. If you just click on buy/sell, it's also useful as well, as you can see. That's just a confirmation of what's going on. This is a horrible chop zone, and that's probably why they're thinking that they'll hold on, because they might be led to believe it might not dramatically fall, and obviously they'd be like, chopped around in the washing machine at that point. Lastly, we can look at the delta option, and we're only really interested in the green bar when it exceeds 2%. So each one of these circles are indicating that the herd are making too much money too quickly, so they need to be shaken out, and preferably at a loss. So it's just, again, it's just the third option of the three. By default, I just have the signal. It's really, really cool. But the delta is quite handy because it tells you the spikes, and anything above 2%, which are marked on this orange circle, anything above, then that'd be like alarm bells. And we can see how we see reversals whenever they're making too much money. So if you want access to these indicators, just come here, FXSSI.com/plans, and then use the QuasiDB promo code for huge discounts. And you can also check my patreon.com QuasiDB if you'd want to subscribe, and you get lots of stuff like this in the private channel, and we have a really nice community as well, and lots of skilled analysts, and it's a nice place. So yeah, any questions, no worries. Hopefully it's quite simple. It's actually quite scary about how the retail guys get manipulated, especially as soon as they make profit, they're not allowed to make too much profit. They get punished, and that's just the forex market, and especially to be careful around the pound USD, because it's just been horrendous, as you can see. So sometimes the best trades are the ones that you don't take, but you just simply monitor, and the ones where you've got a clear view of the market using these indicators, then that would be the best strategy. So yeah, hopefully it helps. Have a good Christmas, and hopefully this was a good one for you, and definitely have a look at the order book as well, and try and get your head wrapped around it. It's really useful, and this is really scary. The pound USD, we can see in the size comparison, just at a very high level, how bullish it is because of this. But we've got the Brexit news as well, so you have to bear that in mind. Let's see what happens next week with the signals, and I'll speak to you guys later.